you think about yourself and what you and your children and your family need to survive, you need safety, food, water, and healthcare. And those are the four things that are targeted for civilians in the Gaza Strip. In the emergency department was entire families being killed, maimed, dismembered, burned. And I can tell you story after story and name the family members, the one family member that survived, and all of his children and wife who had been killed, the one child who survived, and all of his siblings and parents who'd been killed, with the exception of his badly burnt sister who was in the bed next to her, but she was so maimed he didn't recognize her, and he kept calling her name. He himself had half his face blown off and is undergoing reconstructive surgery as we speak. She died 2 days later, and he is the sole surviving member of his family, a young boy. This is a young boy I cared for that arrived under my care as part of one of the mass casualties. But this is not a story. I share the story so that your viewers can actually connect with a single human life. This is 2 million lives who are experiencing what this little boy experienced. The word Al-Shifa means healing, or to heal. And it's over 70 years old. It is as one of my colleagues, a very senior intensivist said, it is the beating heart. He's a Gazan doctor. It's the beating heart of Gaza's healthcare system. If you want to take out the healthcare system, you take out the beating heart of the healthcare system. And that is what it feels like. It is, it has a capacity of 700 some beds. Many of us have been there. It's the specialty hospital. The fact that that hospital was targeted once, and we found no plausible evidence of all of the accusations that were made, that we then proceeded to finally get to the point where we got a Security Council resolution for a ceasefire. We finally got to the point where the International Court of Justice, stated plausible genocide, put in preliminary measures, put in more preliminary measures, to see the world stand by as the hospital was besieged again. The population, including physicians, nurses, patients, internally displaced people, were starved and deprived of food and water for the entire 2 weeks of besiegement. And then to see the horrific photographic evidence of what remains of that hospital and the testimonies of rapes, of executions in the tens of people. I don't know the exact number, but I've heard over 40 to 80 people executed in the hospital. In the hospital. Like, the fact that I'm even articulating these words is so hard to believe. There is no atrocity that will prompt governments to act against Israel. If the world was serious about human rights, about humanity, about all the international laws that we put in place to protect human life, we would have never allowed this to happen. And to be very frank with you, I am ashamed. I'm ashamed because I'm an American citizen. I pay American taxes, the same taxes that are going towards all of these weapons that are being whitewashed with conversations about aid. This is not an issue of aid. This is a massacre of an entire civilian population under the world's watchful eye. We have seen it happen in our history. We are ashamed that we allowed this to happen in our history. And now that we have video footage, social media, live TV, all of these ways to document what's happening in real time, we're allowing us to do exactly what we did with every genocide in history. And I'm ashamed to be part of a society that is allowing that to happen. And I urge every single viewer on your program today to do everything in their power to make this stop. This is a demise of our collective humanity. And I hope that anybody with an awake conscience watching this hears these words and translates them into action.